Hey guys, Gaming Off the Grid here. If you are a lifelong gamer like we are, there are tons of decisions you have made. There were things you bought, things you didn't buy, and worse yet, the things you got rid of. In today's episode, Robert and I are going to tell you our biggest gaming regrets of all time. What are we drinking today, Hitman?
Today we're drinking a freshly squeezed ale by Exile Brewery out of Des Moines, Iowa. Today we're drinking their Lemon Trail. It's a seasonal spring and summer ale.
All right, you know the drill. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell icon so you never miss an upload. And sit back, relax, pour yourself a beer if you care to, and let's talk about our gaming regrets. Alright, here we go. This is going to be a very touchy episode and it might tug on some people's heartstrings, but these are things we have to talk about to be able to move past them in our lives. And speaking of things going on in their lives, is everything okay with you? You went from an episode where you wore a hideous Dwight shirt and now you're rocking your Hitman shades.
Well, everything is great.
Alright, so we are going to start off with your biggest gaming regret in your life.
Okay.
So what did you do? What did you mess up? Something like that.
There's two that come to mind, so I'm just going to start with one and then I'll talk about the other one later.
Okay.
I've never beaten a Zelda game in my entire life. I didn't even know I had never played a Zelda game till I was like in my 20s. Everyone I knew played Zelda and like talks about it, and you love Zelda.
Yeah.
So every time you talk about it, I'm just like, dude, I have no idea what you're talking about.
You just want to run and hide.
Yeah, I'm embarrassed.
Well, there is still time to buff that out. I bet you there's a lot of people that fall into that camp, and knowing what you had, like you obviously played in 64, but that was when you were really young.
Yeah.
So I think Ocarina of Time might have been a little above where you were able to really
And then
enjoy it.
And then my main system was PS2, and
Yeah.
that probably didn't help, but
that's a big hole in your gaming catalog.
yeah,
We need to fix that.
there's a hole right here in my heart that's for Zelda eventually.
So here is the thing that still bothers me to this day, and it revolves around the Game Boy.
Ooh.
So I, like a lot of people, didn't really appreciate a lot of this stuff when it started kind of coming out of its life cycle. And my parents had a garage sale, and they were like, oh, is there anything you want to sell? And I was really wanting to get a PlayStation 2 at the time. So I had a Game Boy with one of those big briefcases that looks like a Game Boy.
That thing is so sweet.
And I've always taken really good care of my stuff, so it was really, really nice. I had the light magnifying screen, the battery pack, and a whole, like, however many games you could fit in that case. I had it maxed out, and I had a couple extra under where you would put the Game Boy. I had all the manuals and most of the boxes that the games came in. Thinking I was a smart kid, I was like, well, I'll put it out at the garage sale, but I'm gonna price it to where I don't think anybody's gonna buy it, so I put $85 on it. So I come back from school and I'm like, wonder what's going on, and guess what's gone? The Game Boy.
The Game Boy.
And I regret it every time I see a Game Boy, and obviously I've since been able to go back and get it, but I still don't have all those games.
And then the case.
The case, I have not seen a case that was as nice as mine. A lot of them are yellowed, they're dinged up. Mine was pristine. My battery pack was pristine. It was the Nintendo brand. And it's gone forever, and like I said, there are games that I still don't have from that collection that are gone, and most of them were complete in box, and bye-bye, they went out the door for $85. At the time, the worst part is I was happy about it.
Yeah, because you were like, now I can get a PS2.
Yeah.
Now here is a touchy subject. Did it actually sell for $85, or did someone talk her?
I'm pretty I think they actually someone walked in and bought it for the full price. So I got the money.
That's kind of better. Because imagine if they would have talked it down to like 50. That would have been.
But I'm
terrible.
sure that money, it went to a PS2, which I don't regret that part, but I'm sure I bought some, game that was a short-term gratification, Tiger Woods, Madden, I don't know, something shitty.
Yes.
And I lost just a treasure from my childhood that I really miss it.
Speaking of losing things, that brings up a biggest regret of mine. It was a couple years ago, and I was short on cash, and like everyone's been there, and you're like trying to find things to sell. And I had an Xbox 360 with a bunch of games. I think I had 5 or 6 controllers, which, why do I have that many? I don't know. But I had like a Halo controller, a bunch of the regular controllers. I even had like caps that went on the joysticks to make them like more grippy, and I had so much stuff for it, and I was short on cash, and I sold it all for $100. In the moment, I was like, I don't play this anymore. I have a PS4. But now I'm like, dang it, there were so many amazing games, and I forget how good the 360 is. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's weird. That's kind of a little bit of a regret of mine is I didn't really give either of the Xboxes much of a chance until we started this channel.
Yeah.
And it's a great system, and it's a shame because it would be awesome because we don't have a very good 360 collection. I mean, we've got a couple heavy hitters back on the shelf, but it would be nice to have all those games you had.
I had so many.
And the thing is that $100 is just you probably lit it on fire.
It went to like freaking rent or something. Something that doesn't even matter.
We actually had a smaller YouTube channel. I mean, we're really small, but they were a younger kid that was saying they were getting ready to get rid of their Wii so they could get a Switch. And we literally in the comment section was like, hey buddy, like, we get it. We've been there, like, don't do that. Like, don't trade your stuff in. Put it in a box. We promise you're going to wish you had it. I feel fortunate because I did an okay job of that, but there are some things that I did that just really still to this day, I hate my younger self for. Last regret I want to talk about was I kind of noticed right around the time that I went to college that I could kind of sense where things were going with gaming, and that I wanted to preserve things that were really important to me. And another huge regret that I have is I was at a Blockbuster close to where I grew up, and they were like closing things out, and I'm thinking it was either 2004, 2005 range. They had one of those Pokemon Snap photo kiosks where you could take your pictures and get them printed out. And they were selling it. At the time, I was not living at home and I really didn't have anywhere to store it. And I don't remember exactly how much it was, but I remember as a broke college student, I had the cash to get it. It was like $100, $150, something that was, I felt like a steal. And I'm like going through my mind like, man, maybe I can store it at my grandpa's. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this thing. And then I'm like trying to talk logic into myself, like, why do you even need it? Like, what are you gonna do with it? But I'm like, but I love Pokemon Snap. I gotta figure this out. Short story long, I didn't buy the kiosk. And literally, if I would had, that would be like my prized possession in our game collection.
It would look so sweet.
And I've seen it on other YouTubers' videos, and every time it just is like a freaking somebody's twisting the knife right in my freaking heart, because I'm like, I almost did it. And it would have been one of those things that all my friends would have been like, dude, you're an idiot. Like, why did you get that? But to this day, today I'd be laughing at them like, oh yeah, who has a Pokemon photo kiosk, son? Yeah, I do, right here in the game room.
Oh man, that sucks.
So yeah, Game Boy Pokemon kiosk for me, and for you, 360.
And Zelda.
Never beat a Zelda game.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. Let's not talk about that.
All right.
Let's talk about something more positive, because this episode's starting to stir up some emotion. Let's talk about this beer.
We're fortunate to get an early taste. This beer is not available to the public yet, and Exile hooked us up with a little pre-launch batch of their Lemon Trail for us to try on the channel. Now, I'm sure Exile knows sending us stuff is a dice roll because we aren't going to hold any punches, and if this beer sucks, they're going to hear about it. So, what are your opinions of the Lemon Trail?
Well, it's actually really good. I did not have high hopes because I was like, this is probably going to be like a simple, lemony beer, like a lemon Kugel or something like that.
Yeah.
But my initial taste and like as I'm drinking it, I'm like, man, this is really good. This is a beer I could see myself drinking on a hot summer day.
Oh yeah.
I know I say that a lot. I know I say that a lot, but it makes me excited for it to be spring. Like, I'm so done with winter. I'm so ready for it to be nice out and to drink this beer outside grilling or something. It's really good.
First off, it's very tart. I would say that this beer, we've all drank Summer Shandy, the Lion and Kugel's beers and whatever, and that type of stuff during the summer. But when you really break those beers down, they are kind of dog shit. They're commercialized, cheaper ingredients. You can just taste there's a lack of quality. If you like those, you definitely need to try this because this is how a real beer in that realm should taste.
Yeah.
So quality ingredients, I mean, that's just a staple for Exile. But I'm not saying I love all their beers, but I know they're made with quality and they use the best brewing techniques and best ingredients. And this is very tart at first, but once your palate adjusts to it, yeah, you could do some damage with these.
It's really refreshing. It has that really good lemon taste. Exile did a good job with this.
Yeah, this is a really good beer. Spring, summertime. If you are in the Des Moines, Iowa area or anywhere, I think in the Midwest, I'm pretty sure their radius of distribution is growing. I think you definitely are going to want to try this beer. It's really good. It's a good summer drinker, and it's going to quench that thirst on a hot summer day. So we will get you, Exile, we promise. You are going to have a beer that we're going to say something shitty about, and you're going to hate us, but for right now, you're still in the clear, and this beer kicks ass. So well done, and we appreciate you hooking us up with some pre-release samples of this beer. Really means a lot to us. All right, we are going to wrap things up here. We absolutely need you in the comment section to get this stuff off your chest. This is kind of a psychology session. Your gaming regrets that are still haunting you to this day. We have aired our dirty laundry. There are some more. We are probably going to do this again because you bringing up games that you haven't beat. I've got a lot of skeletons in my closet for games that I haven't beat that I'm not proud of. But I'm not going to say them in this episode because I'm over it. I'm in a happy mood now. So, as always, we appreciate you tuning in and subscribing to the channel. Keep gaming and keep drinking. We'll see you next time right here on Gaming Off the Grid. You ready? We need some sage beers.
Yeah, we do. Dude, these things fucking fog up fast.
Can you imagine what it was like when by the time you got down to the ring?
I can't. Dude, it's so hard to see shit. Bring in summer ale.
All right, it sounds really refreshing. Make sure you hit that. No, you know the drill. God dang it.
Ooh.
We had it. Dang it.
Home stretch.
All right.
Yeah.
Because I am the master, and I am the ruler of the world. I even had spit come out of my mouth. That's how good that was. All right.
Freshly squeezed.
Okay. Whoa, dude. That about got away from me.
I'm taking the floor. There's some carnage that's going on over there.
God damn it. There's carnage coming out of his britches. Goddamn carnage is dripping out of his britches. Oh, hell. The crowd's vomiting because the stench is so damn bad. Oh, God.